I spent my days venting to my online boyfriend about how demanding my boss was and how he even expected me to prepare my own lunch and got angry when there were spring onions in the dish. My online boyfriend felt so sorry for me, and to comfort me, he invited me to meet up since we'd been talking. For half a year, I thought it was about time to meet, so I agreed. However, when I nervously arrived at the meeting place, I was shocked to find that the online boyfriend I'd been talking to for 6 months was actually my CEO. At that moment, he was already dressed in the outfit. We'd agreed on waiting for me in the restaurant just as I was about to text him and sneak away quietly. The CEO suddenly spotted me, but he didn't suspect my identity. He just casually told me to go back to the office and work on a proposal. I rushed back to the office with a nervous heart, but not long after, I was called into the CEO's office. The CEO said we should part ways on good terms. Thinking he'd figured out who I was, I angrily grabbed the agreement, ready to sign it. But when I looked closely, I realized it wasn't a breakup agreement at all. It was a resignation letter. As the CEO explained, I learned he had been monitoring me all along. Everything was based on suggestions I had given him during our chat. Since I kept complaining about my boss, the CEO, in turn, would complain about me as an employee. I suggested he check attendance and surveillance records. Now, I was the one being punished for it. I felt so embarrassed, I just wanted to disappear. I quickly made an excuse to go to the bathroom and used my phone to text the CEO to treat his employees better and focus on encouragement. To my surprise, the CEO actually let me go and even gave me a raise. But just as I got back to my desk, I was met with the secretary's harassment. She demanded I prepare meeting materials within 30 minutes, but with the limited time, I couldn't finish it. The secretary mocked me, saying since the CEO had given me a raise, maybe I should ask him to delay the meeting. Just then, the CEO messaged me asking me out for dinner, so I bet with the secretary that the CEO would definitely postpone the meeting. The secretary scoffed, saying if the meeting got canceled, she'd wash her hair upside down. I quickly texted the CEO telling him I was still working overtime, but I really wanted seafood risotto. The next second, the CEO walked out of his office and announced the meeting was canceled. The secretary was left stunned, and I didn't make it hard for her. I asked her to buy milk tea for all the company staff. That tactic worked like a charm, I quietly thanked my sweet boyfriend. However, when the CEO arrived at the seafood risotto restaurant, he found it was already closed. Being rich, he offered the manager $20,000, asking her to cook another seafood risotto for him. Then he asked for my address, still working overtime. At the office, I was afraid of revealing the truth and quickly texted my boyfriend saying I had an urgent matter. This upset the fragile CEO when he got back to the office. He was fuming and had nowhere to vent when he ran into me on my way out. He snapped at me. I knew I had made him mad, so I quickly explained, smiling, saying I just went to pick up takeout and would continue working when I got back. The CEO found this a bit hard to believe, but handed me the packed seafood risotto. I couldn't help but think the CEO was a pretty great boyfriend. To show my gratitude, I cheerfully got him a giant cup of milk tea, thinking he'd be really touched.